So you're thinking about doing colon hydrotherapy. One of the first things that you should know is the difference between an open system and a closed system. What I have here at the Root Chakra in San Jose, California, we are the only open system in the Bay Area. The open system allows you full privacy, so the therapist doesn't have to be in the room with you. I prefer this because it gives you the opportunity to fully relax and release a lot more easily. With the open system, you can see we have this tiny little nozzle about the size of a pencil. It only goes in a couple of inches. The bowels are going to go around the nozzle. Everything gets dumped in there. It's like a big bathtub underneath. It's like a giant toilet paper laying down. With the open system, you're in control as far as how long you want to hold on to the water and when you want to release. You also have the opportunity to pee here because you're on a giant toilet. So during your session, if at any point you have to pee, you don't have to worry about hopping off or going to the bathroom. Another beautiful thing about the open system is that there's no clogging possible. Because you're not forcing your bowels through a hole or a tube, they'll come out whole. I've had clients move stool the size of softballs before, or even giant burritos. They come out as they are. You don't have to wait for them to break down to fit through a little tube. Now that you understand how the open system works, this tiny little nozzle and the bowels going around the nozzle, it's not being forced through. That's why it's called an open system. With the closed system, it's a much wider speculum, about as wide as the bottom of this cup here. It goes in significantly further and your bowels are forced through the hole through the tube. You can imagine that this is much more uncomfortable than this tiny little nozzle here, so it's much more invasive. But also what happens with the closed system is that it can get clogged because oftentimes bowels are larger and harder and they can't fit through the speculum. At that point, the therapist would have to uninsert, you have to hold it, run to the bathroom, set yourself back up. A lot of therapists don't set you back up once you've hopped off. With the open system, you actually have the opportunity to release as much as you want to. You don't have to worry about clogging. You don't have to worry about somebody being in the room with you. You have full privacy if you want to. The therapist can also be in the room with you during the open system if you choose, but we do encourage privacy here because we feel that it does help you fully relax and release more. With the open system, you are fully in control of the water. If at any point you want to take a break, you can always turn the water off and take a break. With the closed system, the therapist is in control of the water the entire time, turning it on or off. This can be a little bit uncomfortable because if you're feeling a lot of pressure and you want to release, you have to wait on the therapist to give you permission to do so. With the open system, you can release whenever you feel like it's right for you.